Okay, so right now I'm going to do an animated tutorial on how to draw hair. Woo! This is gonna be super fun. Okay, so first of all, you need a head to draw hair on. I will talk about how to draw heads a little more, but you can watch right now how I draw heads. It's pretty fun. Look at this. Check this out. You see that? Oh yeah. There's a head. Okay, so I'm gonna make that look a little neater, but I'm not gonna give it many features. I'm just gonna give you a head to draw on. There's gonna be an ear here, a nose here, and I'm only gonna draw the nose, so you know where the nose is. Okay, so the hairline, oh, well, before I delete that, I'll show you that in this circle, the top of this circle over here, this over here, well, maybe it's a little lower down, is the hairline. So you always have to determine where the hairline is on a head before you start. It might be a little more curved this way. Yeah, it'll be a little more curved this way. So you have to determine that first. Oopsies, wrong layer. Look at me go, I suck at this. Wowzers. Okay. So you have to draw the head and have a hairline, so you know where the hair goes. Because if you don't know where the hair goes, then your hair could start here, and this is where the eyebrow is. So if you have hair that starts right here, you have no forehead, and that's awful. So what we do is we determine the hairline, and then we have to determine where the part is. So say I want the part here. So, okay, the part goes here. Hair is a thing. It is not weightless, unless, of course, your character is able to defy gravity somehow. It is not, it's not super heavy, because if it was super heavy and it all just went like straight down like this, then it would just look stupid. But hair is obviously affected by gravity, and it has weight to it. Not a lot of weight, but it has weight to it. So say you want the hair to go this way, like a normal side part. All you do is draw in where you want the hair to go and follow the form of the head. Because if you don't follow the form of the head, then it will just look like, what is that a wig? What is that? Okay, so now you determine that you want the hair to part from here, and you want it to go along the sides of the head like this. But do we want it short hair? So let's determine short hair. I will lighten this up so you can see. Okay, let's use a blue, and I'll zoom in a little. Okay, so short hair, if pushed this way, we'll do this number, and it goes with the form of the head, and depending on the volume, can go as high as you want it to or whatever, because hair can defy gravity a little bit, but then the weight starts to pull it back down. So if you have a character with very flat hair, let's just draw a smiley face over here, their hair will follow the shape of the head and then go straight down. Like, there will be no wave or anything if their hair is very flat. Now, if their hair is very voluminous, I guess that would be a good word for it, voluminous, then it'll follow the shape of the head but go up a little more. And then if it's wavy, it will still go downward, but it will have its own shape to it, like this. So it depends on the character, not just the hair. Okay, let's erase that over here, because we don't need that. And we don't need this either. So let's say we're drawing a dude with slightly voluminous short hair. You follow the part, and always remember that there's like a little bit of skin here that might be showing. Sometimes there isn't, depending on how thick the hair is, but if the hair is thin, there'll be a little bit showing. And, oh, you always want to give, let's say this is a dude, you always want to give them a little bit of sideburn, unless they shave it off, because it looks like their hair will fall off, and I don't like that at all. So keep drawing the hair like this, along the shape of the head, and making sure to remember that once it gets to a certain point, it has weight. Unless, of course, it's curly or determined to be like full of like, I don't know, hairspray or something. So let's make it like slightly wavy at the ends because that's how he wants to style it. And then of course you have to draw in the hairline when it's voluminous because you will see it, and it'll keep going this way. Let's lighten this one up so I can show you more lines. Maybe I'll quick draw in the rest of his head so I can get rid of that. Okay. And then let's go over it with black because I know where I want it to be. And when it comes to hair, you have to make sure that when you're drawing it, you use thicker lines in the front or in shadow spots. Like here would be pretty thick because this is where it's shadowed. And this will be a thick line because it is over top of this. And then, well, forgive me for being a little messy. I'm not the best at line art when I'm talking. But make sure these are thicker. Let's give them a little curlicue here. And do these numbers. And I'm gonna make sure that he has some layers going on in here. So always determine the outline of the hair first, because you can always fill in the details like this. You see this? And the best part about hair, especially when it's darker, is that you can draw as many freaking lines as you want as long as it goes the right way, and it'll still look pretty good. As long as you follow the right way the hair goes. Like that line that I just undid, like this one here, this rogue line, it's totally going the wrong way. So we want it to curve with the rest of the hair. And you can always neaten it up because I'm messy as hell when I do hair and stuff. And then, whoop, let's make that more swirly. Just for the sake of swirly. Because you don't have to, I mean, obviously. And thinner lines, obviously, for detail. I'm doing this a little with thick, really thick lines. I usually work with smaller lines, but for the sake of showing you how to do hair, I'm just gonna whoop. And they're a little shaky, so forgive me. And then whoop. So he's got like some swoopy hair over here. And sideburns. Sideburns are usually just like really short, and you don't have to worry too much about sideburns. But usually when I do sideburns, I just like scribble them in there and doodle them in like however I need to, depending on how dark they are and everything. So this character here, oh boy, you're a little messy. I'll have to go in and clean that up. Yeah, this character here I would say has a light brown hair because of all the lines that I'm adding into it. Blonde hair would have less lines. And black hair, you could just color it in all black and then just add in shadows or not shadows, highlights or whatever, like that. Or you can keep it like this and then just color it in darker, depending on what you want to do. Alright, let's give him the other side of his hair, because he needs that, obviously. Oops, that was too swoopy. We don't want to give him like one voluminous hair strand, because it's weird. Okay, and when you're doing lines like this, you can always start up way high and then swoop in, and then it'll give the hair a little more like form, I suppose. Let's give him an ear, because he needs that ear. He needs to be able to hear me talking out of my ass. Excuse my language. Okay, and then keep swooping. I gave him an earring because he's sassy. Keep swooping. Keep swooping. Swoop, swoop, swoop. There we go. So we have some hair. Let's clean it up a bit. Okay, I just usually, if I have like really messy lines, I just go in and start erasing things until it looks good. Like here, I'll just like erase part of this line, and over here, I'll erase some, and you just keep doing that until you decide that it looks good. So like this, and then erase some of these teeny tiny lines unless you want them in there for texture, because line art is important when you are drawing, but it's not so important as, say, if you're planning on coloring it, because if you're not planning on coloring it, then just start shading now with your lines and stuff. So because he has some hair showing, because his hair is a little thinner, well, skin showing, excuse me, then we can erase some and then go in here – and make this a jagged line, and then there you go. Hair! That's kind of messy, but at least you know how hair goes now. You can always just add in more detail depending. The best thing to do is, like, if you're working digitally like I am, then you can just undo the heck out of everything that you're doing until it looks good. But when you're working traditionally, you have to kind of plan out where you're going to put your lines and then do it really easily, carefully, not easily. It's a lot harder when you're working traditionally. Let's give him a face. Let's give him a handsome face. He's not very handsome. Let's just give him some sunglasses. Some fancy sunglasses. There we go. Good enough.